stories.
Summer days are different with this pandemic. I'd love to go outside and hang out with my friends, but I shouldn't make the situation worse. I'm all alone in my apartment, and I did regret not coming home to the province. I thought the lockdown wouldn't be this long. Well, you never know. What am I supposed to do? I muttered to myself while lying down in my comfy bed. My routine is pretty much the same with everyone. Eat, rest, tweet, delete, tweet, again, scroll, and sleep. I've considered working out, but I got exhausted just thinking of it. I'm too lazy to read, nor write. I'm common, too common. This boredom might drive me insane, or it already had. I need to find something interesting to work with, otherwise I'd rot in my bed. I don't even have the sense of time since my body's so out of it. I would normally sleep at 4 or 5 a.m. and wake up at 1 p.m. It's messed up, I know. I should probably learn airbending. Yes, I'm actually serious. Another 2 a.m. Nothing new, I whispered as I scrolled past my timeline. 2:15 a.m., 2:30 a.m., 2:50 a.m., 3 a.m. I finished scrolling, and there's nothing new for Twitter to show. I desperately refresh my timeline, but that's the end. Maybe I should sleep earlier. As I was about to place my phone over the desk, the last refresh popped up, a new tweet. It's a thread about the witching hour. It's a retweet from Lainey. Oh, God, I miss her. Well, this is interesting. The Devil's Hour, or commonly known as the witching hour, is not something to take lightly. This particular hour is filled with ominous and dark presences close that are all of the abyss. That's pretty good, I thought to myself. For a big fan of horror and thriller movies and books, that paragraph, it gave me chills. The thread contained a step-by-step instruction on how to fully experience the witching hour. It only contained 3 replies corresponding to the 3 steps. Pretty short. Well, anything to cure my boredom is fully accepted. The first step is to recite a prayer backwards out loud. I've memorized that prayer enough to visualize its words. It actually sounds pretty creepy when hearing it, and it made sense. It wasn't just a jumble of words. For a moment, I thought that someone else joined me and recited it. I continued the steps. Even Gajam didn't make me flinch. So, what can? The second step is to lie on the opposite direction of how you used to sleep and raise your arms as if you are forming a letter T, as if I am an inverted cross. It's a lot more easier than the first step, but this is creepier. I hope the next step won't be to hammer nails on my hands and feet, I said jokingly. I tried to lighten up the mood as everything is so quiet and twisted. The last step is to sleep. Just that. I thought it'd be something scarier. I looked at my phone and it's already 3:58 a.m. It took that long, as I was sure that I would not be getting any sleep after doing the steps. Minutes later, I dropped and fell asleep. I woke up feeling dizzy. I looked at my phone and it's 3 a.m. That's fucking insane. I slept for almost a day. That's impossible. No matter how I'd get tired, I should be waking up between 1 and 3 p.m. It can't be because of the thread, right? Maybe it's just a coincidence. I really hope it is. Please. I tried looking for the thread on Twitter, but it's gone. I looked at Laney's recent retweets, but the recent is a week ago. I panicked. Before I knew it, it's 3:57 a.m. Minutes later, I fell asleep. I woke up at 3:26 a.m. It can't be. Shit. I could feel the tense on my body. I'm so scared, I cry. But I immediately held myself together. I try not to think much of the witching hour, but this is the witching hour. I am within the witching hour. But why am I waking up later than before? Why am I sleeping at exactly 4 a.m.? If this continued, would it break the cycle, or would I sleep forever? These questions filled up my mind, and I know I have to do something. I have thought that maybe I could undo the curse if I reverse the steps. I recite the prayer properly, lied on my bed before, and slept at 4 a.m. I woke up at 3:56 a.m. I was stunned. It didn't work. I was crying for a minute, but I stopped myself and looked for another way. I have thought that maybe Laney did it since she retweeted the thread. I have her cell number saved on my phone, and I call her. It took 3 calls for someone to pick up. Hello? Who is this? Hi, I'm Lou. Sorry for calling this late, but I really need to talk to you, Laney. Laney? She died a week ago. She died in her sleep. No, that can't be. That can't fucking be. I hung the phone and cried. I was furious, scared, and hopeless. What am I supposed to do? I shouted, as it was 3:58 a.m. A thought occurred to me that if I should go ask my neighbors for help. I got out of bed, wiped my tears, opened the door, and fell asleep. I woke up at 3:56 a.m., lying on my bed, positioned in an inverted cross. Who placed me here? I'm sure no one even heard me opening my door. The thought is frightening, but I am more scared to do what happens. In the next few minutes, I pick up my phone and immediately saw the thread. There was a 4th step. It claims to undo the curse if I retweeted it. I am desperate, so I did. It's 3:59 a.m. Ha! I'll be saved. I'll be saved, I muttered to myself while slowly drowsing off to sleep.
I once had this boyfriend. He seemed like a great guy, but let me tell you, he was a monster, a complete and utter monster and a vile piece of shit. I hate myself for ever getting involved with this sorry sack of shit. Anyway, this is how the story goes. I was hanging outside the bowling alley one night, as I did every weekend. I was a petite, pretty shy girl with a thin figure and long blonde hair. I was shy and quite reserved. I was chilling with my friends when this super cute guy with long black hair, a goatee, and a leather jacket pulled up on his dirt bike. His name was Joey. All of the girls loved Joey. Joey noticed me and he asked me out. And of course I said yes. Joey was 19 years old at the time, and I was 15 years old. We hit it off very quickly, and he was super sweet. As the months went on, he moved in with me and my parents, and we were engaged. Suddenly, Joey's behavior changed. Joey started smoking meth and started staying out all night and started stealing shit. The cops were always at the house, and he got arrested multiple times. My parents got really fed up with Joey's shit and told him to get the fuck out of the house. A few weeks go by, and we noticed that we hadn't been getting our mail. My parents called the post office and asked what the problem was, and they told my parents that mail had been delivered. Suddenly, my father got a notification on his phone that his credit score had dropped from 800 something to 0. Joey was arrested a few weeks later, and apparently Joey had been using the deep web to steal my father's credit card information, and he'd also stolen 10 other people's credit card info and was selling the info online for thousands of dollars to the highest bidder. I had no idea that Joey even knew how to do shit like that. Joey was arrested and charged with larceny, grand theft, identity theft, and several other charges. Joey got 35 years in prison. Apparently Joey was a part of a racketeering gang that specialized in mail theft and credit card theft, and also sold meth and prescription pills. They did all of this online from one of the guy's grandma's basement and ripped off hundreds of people. Joey had apparently gotten involved with some people shortly after his cousin Ron had gotten out of prison for beating the fuck out of his girlfriend. Ron was a meth addict and a two-bit criminal until him and Joey met Douglas, a computer genius and former intelligence officer who was fired and lost his badge forever due to his involvement in an illegal gambling ring back in 1996. They had used the web browser Tor and set up very powerful VPNs, etc. Very complicated and sophisticated shit that I'm just way too stupid to ever understand. Douglas wanted to become a millionaire and figured that if he ripped off enough people, he would be able to start his own business and generate more income. From what I heard, Joey and Ron made one tiny mistake and the FBI was able to track them and shut down the whole operation. Ron was murdered in prison because apparently he had a side business and the prisoners had found out about it. I won't go into detail about Ron's side business, but let's just say it involved some really sick shit. Yeah, that's my deep web story. I have never gone on the deep web, but I have seen the havoc it can wreak on people's lives. My father was able to rebuild his credit, and Joey's parents were embarrassed by Joey's actions and helped repay the thousands of dollars that Joey had stolen from multiple people, including my father.
If you are new, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me out. And if you are already subscribed, welcome back and thank you for subscribing. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's get into today's video.